Ryan's life looked completely normal from the outside. A stable corporate job. A clean apartment in the middle of a busy American city. A fixed routine. A practiced smile that answered every question before anyone could ask it. But inside Ryan, something was missing. Not sadness. Not anger. Just nothing. It felt like he wasn't living his life, he was performing it. Laughing when expected. Speaking when required. Showing up every day like a character playing himself. And that emptiness was the most frightening part. Because pain is still a feeling. But when you feel nothing at all, you start to wonder if you're alive or just breathing. Every morning, Ryan woke up feeling like he was putting on someone else's life. The face in the mirror was his, but it didn't feel familiar. At work, he wore the professional smile. With coworkers, the light jokes. On social media, the image of a normal American life. Everything looked fine. But inside, there was a silence so deep that no amount of noise could reach it. He couldn't remember the last time he had felt something genuinely. One night, while returning from work, the elevator in his apartment building suddenly stopped between floors. The lights went out. Darkness closed in. Standing there alone, Ryan heard his heartbeat clearly for the first time in years. Then, inside his head, a cold but familiar voice spoke. "You were never supposed to be here." The voice wasn't loud. It wasn't threatening. But his entire body froze. Because it sounded like his own voice. And yet, it didn't feel like him at all. A few seconds later, the lights came back on. The elevator moved. Everything went back to normal. But something inside Ryan had cracked. That night, when he closed his eyes, he saw a long white hallway. At the end of it stood a single door. On the door was a number. It wasn't just a dream, because it came back every night. Again and again. Slowly exhausting him. Slowly pulling him apart. Eventually, Ryan made an appointment with a therapist. Dr. Mira listened quietly as he spoke. When he finished, she asked only one question. "Do you ever feel like you're watching your own life instead of living it?" That question hit harder than anything else. Dr. Mira explained that when emotional pain becomes overwhelming, the brain doesn't erase it, it locks it away. It creates a separate room, hidden deep inside, so a person can continue functioning and appear normal. During therapy, memories from Ryan's childhood began to surface. A strict father who believed men shouldn't cry. A mother who learned that silence was safer than speaking. And every moment when young Ryan felt afraid, sad, or confused, he was told to stop, to toughen up, to move on. That's when his mind learned a rule. If you want to survive, don't feel. That rule carried him through school, college, work, and relationships. But now, the same rule was destroying him from the inside. One night, the hallway appeared again. This time, Ryan didn't stop. He walked forward and opened the door marked 13. Inside, the walls were covered with images from his life. Pictures of him laughing, crying, shouting, breaking. And in the corner sat a small child. It was him. The child looked up and said softly, "You locked me in here." In that moment, Ryan understood. Room 13 wasn't a disorder. It wasn't weakness. It was a prison he had built for his emotions so the world would accept him. That night, Ryan broke down completely. For the first time, he allowed himself to feel. Life after that wasn't easier. The numbness was gone, but pain took its place. Mornings felt heavy. Anger surfaced without warning. Tears came over small things. Sometimes he wondered if he was falling apart. Dr. Mira told him, "You're not breaking. You're reconnecting with the parts of yourself you abandoned." She taught him to name his emotions. He learned he wasn't just sad, he was exhausted. Not just angry, he was hurt. Not empty, he was lonely. His dreams changed. Room 13 no longer felt terrifying. The door stayed open, as if saying, "You don't have to run anymore." One day at work, during a meeting, his manager made a dismissive comment about his work. The old Ryan would have smiled and stayed quiet. But this time, he spoke calmly and clearly. "I understand your feedback, but that part isn't accurate." His hands shook. His heart raced. But something else appeared too: relief. For the first time, he didn't abandon himself. He spoke to his father. He spoke to his mother. Anger surfaced. Tears followed. Not everything was resolved. But it was real. He began to understand that emotions aren't weakness. Anger signals broken boundaries. Sadness shows attachment. Fear proves something matters. Some days, the emptiness returned. The difference was, he recognized it now. Instead of running, he stayed. One evening, sitting in a park, Ryan watched children playing. They laughed freely. They cried openly. They fell without shame. He realized children feel alive because they haven't yet been taught what to hide. Months later, Ryan stood in the same elevator again. It stopped. The lights went out. Darkness. But this time, no voice spoke. He felt his breath. He felt his heartbeat. And he smiled. Room 13 was no longer a prison. It was a reminder. Standing in front of the mirror now, Ryan didn't look away. He saw fear, pain, hope, and an imperfect, honest smile. Because he finally understood. The mind can numb you to protect you from pain. But real life begins the moment you open the door you were most afraid to face.